So I said this. Now, it was met with unbelievable anguish and lies and horror. I said, man, am I getting killed on NATO? And then about 3 or 4 days later, people that really study it closely, the real experts, said, you know, Trump is right. You know, he's right. You ever hear the expression? And these are experts. These are good people. But you ever hear the expression? They couldn't see the forest for the trees, right? Right? They're studying. Every day for their whole life, they're studying NATO. Let's do this. Let's do that. Ba, ba, ba. In the meantime, the big picture, they can't see. Okay? They don't do it on purpose. It just... So all of a sudden, I start hearing, like, I'm being absolutely killed by the press. Oh, what I thought was actually a pretty good answer. And again, it's not my main subject in life. Okay? It will be if you elect me. That will be, and along with everything else. And I'm a very good student. I learn very quickly, folks. I mean, like, as an example, I've been doing this for less than a year, and here we are, and everybody else is home, right? So I've done a good job. Have I done a good job? Have I done a good job? So I was being just killed by the press. Then, all of a sudden, reports start coming out that, you know, Trump's right. Okay. Last week, on the front page of the Wall Street Journal, headline, NATO to set up terrorism group. Exactly what I said. Exactly what I said. Exactly. NATO to set up terrorism group. And then they said they're going to take one of the top generals or whatever, and they're putting him in charge, and this group is going to be great now. Okay, all these things. And they had in there a little tiny few words. Donald Trump thought they should be done. Believe me, folks, if I didn't bring it up, you would never have it. You would never have it. And I never said, by the way, and I have to say, because there's so many lies, I actually put out a tweet, at Real Donald Trump, everybody, but I put out a tweet today. And I said, I'm covered so inaccurately by the press that we're going to have to just do it ourselves. We have to do it by word of mouth, because I'm covered so inaccurately. But NATO, I never said, let's abandon NATO. If you listen to Hillary Clinton, it's like Donald Trump doesn't want NATO, as she reads from teleprompter. Donald Trump doesn't want NATO. And then the press goes, oh, that was such a great speech. He was so great. In fact, when she got off on one of them, I said, boy, she did a poor job. Then I turned on the television. Oh, she was great. She's got her voice. She's got her voice back finally. She's got, oh, it's so great. I say, what's going on here? But she reads off. She uses a lot. I like using them on occasion, too, by the way. It's not so bad. Actually, I've been given good reviews where I use crazy teleprompters. Can you believe it? But I like this much better. Don't we like this much better? I like this one. So Hillary Clinton goes around saying, I want to get rid of NATO. Then she goes around saying, Donald Trump wants Japan to go nuclear. I don't want Japan. I don't want him to go nuclear, folks. There's nobody that understands the horror of nuclear better than me. And I'm okay with an Iran deal, but not the deal they made. It's a horrible deal. And by the way, a horrible, horrible, horrible deal for Israel. Okay? Horrible. The Iran deal that the United States made by people that are incompetent is a horrible deal for Israel and for us, but a horrible deal for Israel. So I don't want Japan to go nuclear. But a lot of people didn't know, and if I wasn't running, you'd never know. We take care of the military needs of Japan. Did you know that? Did everyone know that? I mean, before I started talking about it 2 weeks ago. I mean, nobody knew that. A lot of people didn't know about it. We take care of the military needs of Germany. We take care of the military needs of South Korea, that we know pretty much, a lot of it. We take care of the military needs, a lot of it, pretty much all of it, of Saudi Arabia. Now, Saudi Arabia, think of this. I have a lot of friends in Saudi Arabia. Look, Saudi Arabia Saudi Arabia. Don't forget, these are the people that gave many, many millions of dollars to the Clinton Foundation. I wonder why we take care of them. Wonder. And for the women out there, ask the people of Saudi Arabia what they think of women. And for the gays out there, ask the gays and ask the people. Ask the gays what they think and what they do in not only Saudi Arabia, in many of these countries with the gay community. Just ask. And then you tell me, who's your friend, Donald Trump or Hillary Clinton? You tell me. You tell me. Now, Saudi Arabia, remember this, was making $1 billion a day before the oil went down. Now they're making a lot. We defend them. We defend them. Every time somebody maybe makes a threat, there go the ships, there go the planes, there goes everything. You know, every time you turn on one of those aircraft carriers, it costs you probably $1 million. I'd say, don't turn it on. The captain would say, we want to show you how great these engines are working. No, I don't want to hear it. Just don't. But every time this happens, is that a protester? He's very late to the game. Is he friend or foe? I don't even know. Friend or foe? Oh, he's foe? Get him the hell out. Don't hurt him, please. Don't hurt him. Don't hurt him. We got to love everybody. We even have to love our protesters. But you know, the agitators that we have sometimes, very rarely, but the agitators that burn the American flag, that's not right. And those are professionals. You know, when you see the full mask, one of the policemen told me, Mr. Trump, when you see that full mask, that means they're professionals because they don't want to be seen. That means they're professionals. We know what we're doing, folks. Believe me. We know what we're doing. So when you look at Saudi Arabia, they were making $1 billion a day. We defend them. Now, I know this. We're all pretty good, a lot of good businessmen. I know 4 or 5 guys that are very successful people that are friends of mine here in this crowd. I guarantee you I can take any one of those 5 people. I can take many of the people in the room, maybe most of them. And anybody can go to Saudi Arabia and say, listen, you got to pay us more money. They got nothing but money, folks. They got so much money, it's pouring out of their ears. They got so much money. And we're defending them, and we're not getting paid for what we're doing. We're getting a fraction. We're getting peanuts. Now, we're defending Japan. That's big stuff. And we have a treaty with Japan that if Japan gets attacked, we have to come to their aid, probably start World War III. If we get attacked, Japan doesn't have to do anything. They can watch them on Sony television, right? Right? That's the way it is. That's the way we negotiate, folks. Those days are over. Those days are over. Now, what I said and what the press refuses to report, other than a David Sanger for the New York Times who actually wrote a very fair story, you know, they'll leave half. And remember this, when you negotiate, you always have to be prepared to walk away. Now, Hillary Clinton, just to show you what a rank amateur she is, Donald Trump wants to walk away. He wants Japan to go nuclear. I would never walk away, she said. Okay. Once she says that, you can't negotiate a good deal, folks. You can't negotiate a good deal. In other words, she has now told Japan that we're not going to walk away. You have to be prepared. And it's possible that we will walk away. It's possible. I don't think so, because I think they'll come up to the plate. I think they'll come up to the plate. But when you let people know that you're not walking away, you'll always be, how would you like to be in that position? Where she's criticizing me for potentially walking away in order to make a great deal for you. Not for me, for you. And now she has to go there, let's say. Hopefully that's not going to happen. And she wants to get billions and billions and billions of dollars of extra money for the United States where we need it. She can't do it because she's told them, under no circumstances will we let you be out there by yourselves, okay? We got to be able to walk away, folks. But I think it won't happen. It could happen that we'll have a couple of days where I wonder if they'll call back. That could happen. And it could very well be that Japan will have to protect themselves. I'm not saying nuclear. Maybe they'll use nuclear. Maybe they won't. I don't know. And, you have the maniac in North Korea, and, they maybe have to do something. Right now, if he acts badly toward Japan, we end up in a world war. If somebody else acts badly toward other nations, when you look at NATO, what do we end up in a war? And they're not even paying us. How stupid are we, folks? How stupid are we? How stupid are we? And the press doesn't report it right. The press comes out with stories like, Donald Trump doesn't want to support Japan. I do want to support Japan. I just want them to pay us so it's fair. Okay? It's fair. It's fair. Obama had a general get on television, and he said, the general, I sort of found it amazing, but he said, Mr. Trump is wrong when he talks about supporting Japan. Doesn't he understand that they pay for 50% the cost of what we're doing for them? Doesn't he understand that? And I said, they called me about it. I said, but why aren't they paying for 100%? Why? 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 And you know this. If he said it's 50%, you know it's a hell of a lot lower than that. Do you agree with that? So Germany, they're a behemoth. They are making fortunes. Germany, they make our windmills. They make all these windmills you see all over the farms or all over the place. They're killing the birds like crazy, but I don't say that. They're made in Germany. They're made in China. They're made in China. They're made all over. We put them up, and then we subsidize them for the rest of everybody's life, But I will tell you this. Look, they are making fortunes. We pretend them. South Korea. I love South Korea. I have buildings in South Korea. I've done jobs in South Korea. It's great. We have right now 28,000 soldiers on the line between North and South. Right? 28,000 soldiers. They pay us peanuts. Peanuts. And every time he acts up from North Korea, he acts up. He has his little fits. Okay? He acts up. And every time he acts up, South Korea says, oh. And we start sending our ships or planes or this or that. Right? They pay us peanuts compared to the cost of this. Now, think of it. And then one of the papers called the other day, and they said, would you speak to the leader of North Korea? I said, absolutely. Why not? Why not? And they come out, Trump would speak to him. Who the hell cares? I'll speak to anybody. Who knows? There's a 10% or a 20% chance that I can talk him out of those damn nukes, because who the hell wants him to have nukes? And there's a chance. I'm only going to make a good deal for us, but there's a chance. But it was like, and Hillary said, he would deal with this dictator. I give me a, oh, you know what? I know they've been doing it a long time, folks. They are rank amateurs, okay? Hillary is a rank amateur. She's been doing it forever, and she still doesn't get it. What the hell is wrong with speaking? And you know what? It's called opening a dialogue. It's opening a dialogue. And I don't say it's going to happen, and probably it won't. But there's nothing. I wouldn't go there. That I can tell you. If he came here, I'd accept him. But I wouldn't give him a state dinner like we do for China and all these other people that rip us off, or we give them these big state dinners. We give them state dinners like you've never seen. We shouldn't have dinners at all. We should be eating a hamburger on a conference table. And we should make better deals with China and others. And forget the state dinners. You forget the state dinners. That cost, by the way, a fortune. That cost a fortune. Do you remember when I saw a state dinner, and it's a tent, which is actually unsafe, canvas. It's a tent on the White House lawn. And I actually called up the Obama administration. And I said, I will build you free a 100 million or more ballroom. I'll build it for you. We'll choose 5 great American architects. We'll design something that everybody likes called a charrette. We'll design something that everybody likes. And instead of having a tent, which looks like hell. No, I mean, a tent is, can you imagine the guy that owns that tent company? Do you think he's making a couple of bucks, assuming they probably use him? They probably have somebody, probably retires after he does one event. But instead of having a tent on the White House lawn, I will build you in the least conspicuous place. You know, it is the White House, right? We will build a great, great grand ballroom, and I will pay for 100% the cost. And you know what happened? I spoke to a very important man in the administration. He knows who it is. He's actually already said I spoke to him. Not a bad man either, David Axelrod. I spoke to him. I said, David, I'll build the ballroom. I'll put up all the money. We'll take 5 great architects, all from America. A little appropriate, right? You know. And I'll build a great ballroom. Bigger than your tent. So beautiful. It'll go so beautifully with the White House. It'll be great. I never heard back. Now, if I was at the White House, I'd say, let's talk a little more. Come on, let's go. But we don't do that because for some reason, we just don't have that. It's just something, there's something wrong. There's something missing. There's something. Now, in our greatness, many years ago, they would have called. They wouldn't have called. It was before the phone. But they would have had that built. They would have said, this sucker wants to give us a free ballroom. Let's take it. So anyway, just a little story. I have so many little stories. I should write. I think I'll have to write another book. Do you think? But when you look at the kind of numbers we're talking about for the military. Now, let's assume I got Saudi Arabia to pay us fair. I don't want a lot. I want fair. Let's assume I got Germany and Japan to pay us fair. And again, Hillary can't do it because she said, you know, we would never leave our partners, our allies, or this or that. So these Japanese guys are sitting back there like, do you believe this? So when you walk in, we would like you to pay a little more. Absolutely not. When I walk in, what do you want? What do you want? And I have to tell you, this was said by a great man, very famous man. And he called me. And he said, Donald, I have to tell you, I thought you were totally wrong in your level of toughness with foreign countries. I thought you were wrong 5, 6, 7 months ago. I've been watching what's going on. And I totally thought you were wrong. And you were 100% right. These countries are calling me saying, what do we have to do to make Trump happy? What do we have to do? How much will it cost? What do we have to do? We don't like this. If he wins, what do we have to do to make Trump happy? So amazing. So we are going to start winning again, folks. We are going to start winning again. We're going to start winning. We're going to end Obamacare. We're going to repeal it and replace it. And by the way, Obamacare is a total disaster. I don't know if you saw Texas going through Obamacare. You have Blue Cross Blue Shield, a 60% increase, 60. And here's the story. And this is election-changing stuff. On November 1st, the numbers are going to come out on Obamacare. President Obama wants to delay the numbers till December 1st. I tell my Republican colleagues, please don't do that. Because Obama's a lousy negotiator, except when it comes to the Republicans. He's a great negotiator, okay? You know, the Republicans, honestly, folks, our leaders have to get tougher. This is too tough to do it alone. But you know what? I think I'm going to be forced to. I think I'm going to be forced to. Our leaders have to get a lot tougher. And be quiet. Just please be quiet. Don't talk. Please be quiet. Just be quiet to the leaders. Because they have to get tougher. They have to get sharper. They have to get smarter. We have to have our Republicans either stick together or let me just do it by myself. I'll do very well. I'm going to do very well. Okay? I'm going to do very well. A lot of people thought I should do that anyway. But I'll just do it very nicely by myself. I think you're going to have a very good result. I think we'll be very happy. I'll run as a Republican. I don't, you know, the endorsement thing. By the way, I've gotten tremendous endorsements. But if I don't get them, that's okay. We're going to run. We're going to win. And here's what we're going to do when we win. We're going to make our country so great again. Think of what I said on the military. Now, there's a thing that I'll bet you never heard of in all of the years that you've been listening to politicians talk, right? I'll bet you never heard the fact that we are losing hundreds of billions of dollars taking care of the military needs of other rich countries. Richer than us, in a sense. Okay? Richer than us, in a true sense. So I'll bet you never heard that, right? Just like they never heard about NATO being obsolete. And now they're going to form because of terrorism, and now they're forming a terrorism unit. There are many things. Just like I said, take the oil. Don't go into Iraq, don't go into Iraq, don't go into Iraq. They go into Iraq. For years I was saying, don't go into Iraq. At the beginning, by the way, they try and say, well, you know, we have a... Let me tell you, I was always against going to Iraq because you're going to destabilize the Middle East. So I said, don't go into Iraq. They went into Iraq. When they came out, and for years I've been saying, when you leave, it's not going to be good. Take the oil. Guess what? They didn't take the oil. We're led by stupid people, folks. We're led by stupid people. So we're going to get rid of Common Core. By the way, we're going to bring our educational up. And I told you, and the people that head up the NRA are great people. Wayne and Chris, and they love this country. And I told you, we're going to protect that Second Amendment because it is under siege. Hillary Clinton essentially wants to abolish the Second Amendment. It is under siege, and we're going to protect it. Remember that. We're going to start winning again. And you have to get out there in November, and I'll be back. And we're doing great in Georgia. I looked at a poll today in Georgia. We're doing good in Georgia, just like we did in the primary. And Herschel Walker endorsed me also. I love Herschel. We love Herschel. It was tough. Remember Herschel Walker running? Boy, I tell you what, that was not an easy one to bring down, was it, folks? I think we could use another Herschel on the team. But we're going to start winning again. We're going to be winners instead of losers, because all we do is lose. We lose on trade. We lose with the military. We can't beat ISIS. We lose at every level. We're going to start winning again, folks. We are going to make America great again. We are going to make America safe again. We're going to include everybody with us. We're going to bring everybody with us. But we're going to win with the military. We're going to win with trade. We're going to win on the borders. We're going to win with education, where we're ranked so poorly. We're going to win with our Second Amendment. We're going to win with health care. We're going to have a great plan that's far less expensive. A great plan. We're going to win so much that you're going to say, Mr. President, we can't take it anymore. We're not used to it. We're winning too much, Mr. President. Please, you have to stop winning so much. And I'm going to say, I'm sorry. We're going to keep winning. We're going to make America great again. Thank you very much. I love you. I love you, Georgia. I love Georgia. Thank you, Atlanta. Thank you.